What is up, everyone? Pyzilla57 here with another video, and this time I'm going to do kind of a Platinum Trophy walkthrough guide. And I've done this for a few other videos, and it's a type of video I enjoy doing. However, this is going to be a little bit different this time. So with the other videos that I did, I had some gameplay that I recorded from the game that I was talking about, and then kind of just did a voiceover for it. And this time I'm going to use PSN profiles to go through the trophy list. So since I used to do the other videos, I've recently gotten a better microphone, and I found a program to record audio off my computer, as well as recording the screen of my computer, and a program to overlay both of them to make a video. So personally, I think this will be a little bit easier to do this way, where you guys can actually see all of the trophies instead of me just talking about them and believing that those are the trophies. So I think this might be a little bit easier and a little bit more helpful. However, feel free to leave a message in the comments whether you like this style of a Platinum Trophy guide better, or if you like the other style better. This is obviously a lot easier for me to do, and I can put these out much quicker, and I can do this for some of the other games that I play. A lot of the games obviously don't need them, but some of them could be pretty helpful. And for this Platinum Trophy guide, I'm going to do Resident Evil 2, the remake. And if you guys might know, I absolutely loved this game. I was one of the first 100 or 150 or so Platinum Trophy achievers on PSN profiles, and I could have gotten it done a little bit faster, but a couple of the days that it was out, I was spending a lot of time playing Rocket League with some friends and stuff like that, so I didn't focus solely on Resident Evil 2. But either way, I got it done pretty quickly. And some of the Discord servers I'm in, I've had tons of people ask me questions about this game and answering questions on forums about how to do certain playthroughs and certain trophies, and I love talking about this game. So this would be a really good opportunity for me to give my insight and some of the tips I have on some of the trophies. So like I said, I was probably one of the first 100 or 150 Platinum Trophy achievers, I think, but since then there's almost 1,000 now, and I got the Platinum Trophy in 5 days and 5 hours, so relatively quickly for the 7 playthroughs I put into the game. But yeah, so since this is a Platinum Trophy walkthrough, there will be some spoilers in here, specifically mainly some trophy related, the story related trophies, sorry, since PSN Profiles doesn't flag those and doesn't hide them like they do on the actual PlayStation. So do be aware. I'm not going to obviously provide major spoilers myself and talk about all the different story parts of the game, but in the trophy names and the trophy descriptions themselves, there might be some slight spoilers, nothing huge. But so let's get into it. So Resident Evil 2 has a Platinum Trophy, of course. It's got 4 gold trophies, 9 silver trophies, and 28 bronze trophies. So these first few trophies are all story-related trophies. So if you guys don't know, there are 2 different characters you can play as. One is Claire and one is Leon, and they both play a little bit differently. And you get different weapons per each of them and stuff like that. So one of the story-related trophies here, complete Ada segment, you'll get that when playing Leon's story, and complete Sherry's segment you'll get in the Claire storyline. And you can get these you do these segments in both their A and their B route, so you don't have to worry about playing a certain route for those. And here's a trophy for completing Leon's story and completing Claire's story. And then there's one for witnessing the true ending. So the true ending you'll have to get on your second playthrough. So if once you complete the Leon A route, you'll unlock the Claire B route, and once you complete the Claire A route, you'll unlock the Leon B route. So to witness the true ending, you basically just have to play either Claire or Leon's B route. So you have to beat the game once to unlock one of their B routes, and then you have to play that B route to witness the true ending. And the true ending, the B route for each of them is a little bit shorter, and it starts a little bit later in the game, and some of the puzzles are slightly different. And then the true ending, there's just an extra little bit after the final boss fight that you encounter for the true ending. So next we have combined 2 items together. That one's really easy to get. As you can see, almost 95% of people have gotten it on PSN profiles. One of the main aspects of the game is combining items together, so it'll be very hard not to get that trophy. You'll be doing that a lot throughout all of your playthroughs. Next is increasing your inventory slots. Again, this will be something you will easily come across and easily do, especially for some of the other trophies down the line, because you only start with, I think it's 8 item slots, and you can get up to 12 more. And item management is very important in this game, so increasing your inventory slots is extremely beneficial. Next is customizing a weapon. This one you will also most likely get. You get throughout the game, you'll find certain weapon mods for your weapons, and usually you'll find a lot of them like in safes and stuff like that, and you'll be able to use them combine those with your weapons to make them stronger, and more useful. So it's another trophy you'll most likely be able to get, especially if you are going for the other trophies, like I said, because you'll get them in lockers and safes. Next is defeat an enemy with a knife. This one is pretty easy. You are given a knife at the start of the game. Not at the very start, but once you reach the police station, you're given a knife. So you basically just need to defeat any enemy with a knife. You can use your gun to knock them on the ground, and then use your knife to finish them off while they're on the ground. That's probably the easiest way. And once you collect all the Mr. Raccoons, which is the collectibles in this game, one of the collectibles in the game, you'll get an infinite knife. So with the standard knives you're given and you find throughout the game, you can only use a certain amount of times because there's sub weapons. So if you're getting attacked, you can use that to automatically counter a zombie that's attacking you. And then if you kill that zombie, you can retrieve that knife. But each time you do that, the knife decreases in strength. And once you find all the Mr. Raccoons, you'll get an infinite knife, and it will not deplete no matter at all throughout the entire game. So again, that'll be a pretty easy trophy. It's not very hard to get. Next is counterattack with a sub-weapon, which is kind of what I just mentioned. Those combat knives is an example of a sub-weapon. Another example is using a frag or flash grenade. So again, if you have those equipped and you are like grabbed by a zombie from the front, if you're grabbed from behind, then you won't be able to use it. But if you're grabbed from the front from a zombie and you have a sub-weapon equipped, one of the weapons I just mentioned, you'll be able to press L1 and counter with it. And so it's a really easy trophy to get, and they're super helpful because if you counterattack with a sub-weapon, you will not lose any health. Next is using a wooden board to board up a window. So in the game, you'll find a whole bunch of wooden boards. Not a whole bunch, but you'll find a fair amount of wooden boards throughout the game. And you can use these to board up certain windows in certain hallways of the police station. And this prevents zombies from being able to get in. Because these windows, if you don't board them up, the zombies that are outside will be able to break the window and jump in. So it's very helpful using the wooden boards to board up certain windows, especially for when you go back to those areas throughout the game. Because if you don't, then there will be more zombies and it'll make the subsequent runs even harder. Next is destroy a Mr. Raccoon. So there are 15 Mr. Raccoons in the game. It's pretty, some of them are, you'll be able to find just through normal play, so this trophy shouldn't be a problem. But some of them are pretty well hidden, and there is a trophy later down for destroying all the Mr. Raccoons. So not only does destroying all the Mr. Raccoons give you that infinite knife that I was talking about, it also unlocks another trophy. So using a video or a text guide could be helpful for those if you don't want to find them all by yourself. Because like I said, some of them are fairly well hidden, but they do make a little sound when you are near them. So you can kind of tell when you are near them, but only like really near them. It's not like you'll be able to hear them and you're completely searching for them. It's like pretty much when you're right next to them is when they make that sound. Next is open a portable safe. So there are 2 portable safes in the game, and the portable safes, each time it's randomized the number combination. So there's 8 different numbers, and basically you have to find the right combination of numbers to press to open these. And these portable safes have keys in them that you can use for the weapon locker to unlock more weapons and stuff. So next is open a dial safe. So these are the safes that I was talking about. There are a few throughout the game, I think 8 of them, and a lot of them have weapon mods to customize your weapons, or hip pouches to increase your inventory slots. So these will come in helpful. There's also a trophy for opening all of them. So if you're going for the platinum, you'll definitely get this trophy when you're going for all of them. Again, there are text and video guides out there. I used PowerPix's guide because he has a very nice guide for it. Breaks down each playthrough, whether you're doing Leon A, Leon B, Claire A, or Claire B. It breaks it down and tells you what all the combinations are for each locker. He also has guides that if you're just wanting the weapon locker or the safes, you can follow just that guide, or you can use the comprehensive guide like I was talking about. But the items you get in these safes are very helpful. What I did my first playthrough blind, so I didn't use the text guide for collectibles or anything like that. So all the safes that I opened, I did by myself, and most of them you'll be able to find by yourself. There are files in the game, and there are certain files that when you open them, when you read them, it'll kind of tell you a combination for a safe from earlier in the game. So that's what I did. I wanted to explore and find all this stuff by myself. But if you don't want to, then you can find guides online that tell you the combination for each one. Next is shoot the grenade you fed to an enemy. So this is pretty simple. For this, you have to do what I was mentioning earlier with the counterattacking with the sub-weapon. So first, if you have a grenade, you want to equip that as your sub-weapon by going to your inventory or holding L1, I think, and on the D-pad you can choose which sub-weapon you want equipped. But you want to equip a grenade, and when a zombie grabs you and you press L1, you automatically take the grenade and shove it in their mouth, and there's a few seconds delay before the grenade goes off. So during that few second delay is when you want to shoot the grenade. So it's not too bad of a trophy. It might take a few tries, but you just want to make sure you have the grenade equipped, use it when you're attacked to counterattack, and then shoot the grenade. Next we have kill 3 zombies at once with a sub-weapon. Again, this is pretty easy to do. For this one, you don't have to counterattack with the sub-weapon. The easiest sub-weapon, the one you need to use for this, is a grenade. So if you hold L1, you bring up into the stance with your sub-weapon. So if you have the grenade attacked, you can hold L1, then you can press R1 to throw the grenade. And you can get this by being attacked by a zombie and counterattacking and shoving the grenade in the mouth of a zombie. but you don't have to. You can just throw the grenade like normal. And I did this at the beginning of the B routes, I think. Maybe Leon's, because I think at the beginning of Leon's B route, you get a grenade pretty early, and there are quite a few zombies like in the courtyard. So I think that's what I did, but there are many places you can do this. I think even if you do the 4th Survivor playthrough as Hunk, you get grenades, and there are tons of zombies in that, so you should easily be able to get it in that. I've not tested it, but as far as I know, that should work to get the trophy that way. Next is shoot a zombie dog or licker out of the air. This one's a little annoying, but it's not too bad. So I was Leon for this trophy because you get the shotgun as Leon. And there are a few areas in the game that have lickers or dogs, and basically you want to just equip your shotgun and kind of back up a bit and wait for a zombie or dog to jump at you and then shoot them out of the air. So it's as simple as that. It might take a few tries. It took me a few tries. But I was Leon using the shotgun. I shot a dog out of the air for this trophy in the underground facility of the police station, like before leaving. If you guys want a reference point of where I got it, that's where I got mine. Next is, for this one, you can also probably use Hunk because you get a shotgun, and there are plenty of dogs in 4th Survivor, so you could probably do it there as well. Next is paralyze a licker's sense of hearing. This one's pretty easy. You just need to throw a flashbang at a licker. So nothing too hard about that. Shoot Tyrant's hat off his head. Another simple one. You'll know when you triggered the Tyrant. It's a very stressful and intense part of the game when you're being chased by him. But he's wearing a hat, and basically you just need to use your pistol or something and just shoot the hat off the Tyrant, and it's pretty easy. Next is defeat stage 2G using the crane only once. So this is the second boss fight of the game when you're in the sewers. And there's a crane that you can use to attack stage 2G. You can do it twice. Usually it takes 2 uses of the crane to do it. But if you injure and damage him enough, then only using the crane once will work. So it's not too bad. You just want to keep damaging him. It's easier on an easier difficulty, obviously. You can also wait until you have the infinite handgun, which you get by S ranking Leon or Claire's playthrough on standard. And you get the infinite handgun that way. So if you're worried about wasting ammo, then you can always wait for that. And especially if you're like on assisted difficulty, then you have aim assist, so it makes it even easier. But yeah, I didn't test how much damage you have to do. But usually once you injure him and damage him enough, like he'll go down on one knee, and that's usually when you want to use the crane. And I think I did it when he went on to one knee, like his 3rd or 4th time, maybe a little bit more. But yeah, if you just do it more to be safe if you want, but you can save before that fight, and if you didn't get it, you can just load it up. Or if you're on standard or assisted, there should also be an autosave that happened, so if you didn't defeat him after the first use of the crane, you can just reload that autosave. Next is using the photo hints, find 2 items. So once you get to the sewers, after using a lift to go up to an area, you'll find a roll of film that shows 2 places of treasure back in the police station. And to do this, you have to go back to one of the first safe rooms early on in the office that has the dark room, so you can develop the film. And once you do that, like the roll of film will say treasure photo or treasure items or something like that, and then once you develop it, it'll show 2 photos. And if you guys are curious, the two areas for this are in the STARS office, which is the 2nd floor of the police station, and yeah, the 2nd floor. And then the other one is in the East Wing in the presidential type meeting area. So those are the 2 areas for that. Next is expand inventory slots to the max. Again, this will be extremely useful. There's 6 of them. And if you want to use a guide, then there are guides out there. Like I said, PowerPix has a good one. So these next 2 trophies are specific to either Ada or Sherry segment. Using only the EMF Vigilator complete Ada's gameplay segment is pretty easy on assisted or standard difficulty. I had to use the gun on hardcore difficulty, but it's basically just a hacking tool. So there are videos out there if you want to know like the exact route, but basically just have to go and find the certain areas to hack to make your way through. So it's not too hard. Escape the bedroom within 60 seconds during Sherry's segment is a little bit harder because the little puzzle you have to do at the very beginning. This is the very first part of Sherry's segment to escape the bedroom, and the little puzzle you have to do is randomized, but it's the same each time for even though it's randomized for each person, it's the same each time. So if you guys want, you can start the game, you can figure out what the puzzle is, like the order you need to do it, and then you can just reload the save, and then it'll be that same puzzle, random puzzle, so you can just do it then as quickly as possible. Next is defeating stage 4G with 4 minutes and defeat Super Tyrant with 5 minutes left until detonation. So you face 4G in Claire's route and Super Tyrant in Leon's route. And the very end of the game, once you get after you defeat 3G in either playthrough, you will be going down a little elevator, and that's when you'll have 10 minutes to do the whole next part. And if you're playing on a lower difficulty, it's not too bad. You basically have to get through a small part, which takes 2 to 3 minutes to reach the final boss, either 4G or Super Tyrant, and then you just have to beat them within enough time. It's not too hard. I got both of these on my first try. Like I said, if you're on the lower difficulty, it makes it even easier because they're weaker and you'll more likely have more ammo at that point as well. Next is read all of the files. Again, this is another collectibles one. It's pretty easy. You'll find most of them yourself, most likely going through the game, but there are certain files that are exclusive to Leon A, some exclusive to Claire A, some exclusive to Leon B, and some exclusive to Claire B. So again, just use a text guide if you're worried about missing some of them. There is a point of you don't have to get all these like on one playthrough, but there is a point of no return after defeating 2G where you can't go back to the police station or the sewers to collect any you may have missed. So do keep that in mind. And if you use PowerPix's text guide, especially like I did, he'll have like in bright red font saying this is a point of no return. Make sure you have the rest of these before moving forward. Next is destroy all Mr. Raccoons. I kind of touched upon that. I touched upon opening all safes and locks in the game. So next you have to complete Leon and Claire's story on standard or hardcore with an S rank. This isn't that hard. For standard, I think you have either 2.5 or 3 hours, I think. Maybe 3.5 hours for standard. Depending on whether you do the A route or the B route. You have half an hour of less time when doing the B route, because like I said, you start a little bit later in the game at the police station already. But you can do this on either the A route or the B route. Hardcore is obviously even harder, because not only do you not have autosaves, not only are enemies harder, not only do you have less ammo and less hit pouches, you have even less time to get an S rank. So it's a lot easier on standard to get the S rank. And it's like I said, it's pretty easy. Once you've done the playthrough a couple times and you know what you're doing, you'll be able to just rush through and do what you need to do and unlock everything and just be in the game. So it's pretty straightforward. I wouldn't really worry about it. If you are worried, then if you press start, or I guess the options button technically on PS4, then it'll tell you what your current time is in the upper right hand corner, and it does stop the time when you pause. So if you don't remember where you need to go, you can pause it and look up where to go. But after, like I said, after you've done the game a couple times, then it will be much easier. You'll know exactly what you need to do. And I got these, I didn't get them on my first try because, like I said, I did a blind playthrough my first time. It took me a little bit under 8 hours my first time because I was exploring everywhere and figuring out what to do all by myself. But when I was going back and doing the S ranks, I did get S rank my first time, both times on the B route. Like I did Claire A first, and I did Leon A, and then when I did Leon B and Claire B, I got an S rank on standard my first time, both tries. And like I said earlier in the video, once you get an S rank on standard with one of them, you unlock the infinite handgun that you can use on subsequent playthroughs if you want. Next is completing Leon and Claire's story on hardcore game mode. I just touched upon this. You have to find, like the older games, you have to find ink ribbons to save, and there are no autosaves. So you can only save by saving at a typewriter, and you need to find ink ribbons throughout the game to save. And there are plenty of ink ribbons around the game, so I had plenty left over. Leon's story on hardcore is probably the hardest trophy in the game. Claire's playthrough in general is a lot easier, and her hardcore playthrough is definitely a lot easier. I think I didn't die at all on her hardcore mode, but I died quite a bit on Leon's game mode. And it's definitely beneficial to unlock the infinite handgun before doing the hardcore game modes, because it takes a lot easier. And for me, I took my time on hardcore because I didn't want to risk anything when I was backtracking to certain areas. So I used my infinite handgun, and I just pretty much took out every single zombie, even if they weren't really too much of a threat. So then when I went to those areas, back to those areas later on in the game, they were already dead, and I didn't have to worry about them. I could just run past without any fear of them. Next is complete the game without using a recovery item and without opening the item box. These aren't as bad as you may think. I combined them on the same playthrough, and I did this on assisted difficulty. If you're on assisted difficulty, I definitely recommend assisted difficulty for the recovery item one, because on assisted difficulty, once your health reaches below caution, then you regenerate some health to get back to caution. So I think there's like fine, there's caution, then there's danger, which is like the 3 health states. So once you get to danger, like you'll regenerate some health to get to caution. And once you're on caution, I think you can take 3 hits till you die. So completing the game without using a recovery item is definitely recommended to do that on assisted difficulty for that reason alone. Clearing the game without opening the item box, it's not that bad. You just it's a little bit annoying because you have to go out of your way to use the key items until you can't anymore, because once you've used a key item as many times as you can, like the keys and stuff, then you can discard them. So it's a little annoying having to go out of your way to use the key item each and every time just so you can discard it for more spots. And you definitely want to pick up all the hit pouches you can for this, which is a little obvious. But another thing with the hardcore difficulty, there's only 3 hit pouches in the game instead of 6, so you definitely don't want to clear the game without opening the item box on hardcore difficulty, because you get 6 less item spots than you would on assisted or standard. Next is take 14,000 steps or fewer in one playthrough. This trophy isn't that bad. When the trophy list was first revealed, a whole bunch of people freaked out about this trophy, and they're like, oh my god, this trophy's gonna suck. And right away I knew it wasn't gonna be that bad, because it's essentially a speedrun trophy, just with steps instead of time. If you look at it that way, that's pretty much all it is. And I got this trophy very easily on both of my S rank standard runs with Leon and Claire. And I did Leon first, and I was going for this trophy, and I complete the game in like just under 12,000 steps. If you guys want to reference, I finished the 2G the 2G fight and was heading to the laboratory at about 7,500 steps. So that's a reference for you guys to use if you want, but it's pretty easy. And like I said, if you just think of it as a speed run with steps instead of time, then it's not that bad. And again, if you do it on a even lower difficulty, it makes it even easier, especially some of the boss fights with aim assist, auto aiming at their weak spots. You barely have to move at all. But I got it pretty easily on standard difficulty when I was doing my S ranks. And then since I got the trophy on Leon B, when I was doing Claire B for my standard run, I wasn't even trying for it, and I was going on my way. I was purposely going on my way to do more stuff that I didn't on the Leon B route, and I still finished under 14,000 steps. So, and then lastly, there's complete the fourth survivor extra mode. So I believe this game mode unlocks once you see the true ending. So once you beat one of the B routes for the first time, you unlock this game mode, which is a little game mode that will take you a little over 10 minutes to complete on a successful run. And it's a little challenging. It's pretty annoying. So you play as Hunk, which is one of the survivors, and you start in the sewers, and you basically have to get through the sewers back to the police station, and you want to extract from the police station. And so it's the same route you have to go every single time. And you start off with tons of weapons, tons of ammo, but you can't pick up, and there are no other items to pick up through the game. So you have to get through the entire sequence with only the weapons you're given and only the healing items and ammo you're given. And there are tons of enemies to get through. There's a whole bunch of regular zombies. There's some G monsters. There's the ivy plant monsters. There's some lickers, some dogs to get through. So it's actually kind of challenging and annoying. But I do have my walkthrough of my successful walkthrough of the Fourth Survivor on my channel if you guys want to look at that and kind of get a reference for what I did and the route you need to take and some stuff that I did that might help you. So that is it for this trophy guide. This went on a lot longer than I thought it would. So I'm sorry. It's about 33 minutes now almost from when I started recording. Like I said, there are a lot of people who asked me about tips for some of the playthroughs, especially like the item box and the 14,000 steps and the no healing trophy. I got a lot of questions about those. So hopefully this all helped. I did kind of go into detail on almost every trophy when some of them didn't need to, but I wanted to be thorough. So sorry this video is so long, but if you stuck through the entire thing and this helped, then thank you. Please like the video and let me know that you made it through and this helped you. And if you guys like this style of video, then please let me know, or if you'd prefer kind of me talking over some gameplay that I did and just referring to the trophies, then let me know, and then I can possibly switch back to that style of video instead. Like I think those videos were closer to 15 minutes instead of the 30-minute mark, but like I said, this way I was able to go through each trophy individually and talk about them. So let me know what you think. If this was helpful, then let me know. So please let me know and subscribe, comment below what other types of videos you guys would like to see from me in the future. And until next time, Byzilla out.